From Griffiths Gymnasium here in Los Alamos, Carol Clark and the Los Alamos Daily Post present Los Alamos High School boys basketball. And tonight it will be the Hilltopper boys going up against the Moriarty High School Pintos. And these two teams have met before. Los Alamos traveled up to Moriarty to take on Moriarty up there and won that ball game handily, 66-45. But anything can happen, as we know. The Hilltoppers go up and play a game like that, or they play a game like they did against Valencia, or like the game we had here at Taos, where the Hilltoppers ended up winning by 2 after having built up a pretty good lead, and Taos came roaring back. But the Hilltoppers played a fantastic ball game. But the next game, and then we head over and we played Espanola, and it's just it was a disaster over there. It's like they'd never seen a basketball before. They were just almost like intimidated. But anyway, they regrouped, came back, and then won. Let me see. Hold on just a second here. So, but to Taos, and then they went after Taos. They went to Moriarty, and played very well there. And then Milwaukee came here, and that was a very close ball game. The Hilltoppers actually were behind in the final minute and finally able to pull it out and win that ball game by 3. Espanola came to town, and the Hilltoppers played a pretty good game against Espanola, and then they go down to Taos the other night. We went to Taos, and it was just a repeat of the game against Espanola. Los Alamos just couldn't get anything going. They couldn't hit anything. They just didn't have the drive and the intensity that they've had in some of these ball games. So we'll see what they have here tonight, because they have to win out here if they have any chance to go to the state playoffs. That game against Taos the other night was kind of devastating, because we only beat Taos by 2 here. They beat us by 26, 82-54, and so it's a kind of a thing where I don't know what they're going to do when they look at the seeding. The Hilltoppers right now have a record of 6-4 overall, and they're 3-3. So they need to win out. If they can win out, they would end up at 8-4 and 5-3 in the district, and so that might look pretty impressive. But they are favored to win here tonight, and they should win against Milwaukee. And Milwaukee, if they play up to their ability, but it's we'll never know. We've got about 10 minutes to go here before they're going to get things started. One of the things I wanted to point out was we're putting on that slideshow as we have for the last few games, and then our Cracker Jack IT guy Nate has come up with a roster for the boys. So if you see the slideshow and you see the number, check the roster, and that will tell you who that young man is. So anyway, joining me tonight is Dean Mortensen. And he will do the honors here also with me this was senior night tonight. So they honored all the seniors, and we had 4 seniors that are graduating here from Los Alamos, and that is Sebi Wood. And Sebi, of course, been on the team 2 or 3 years now and done a fantastic job. Elijah Ortiz is not Elijah. He's still a junior, fortunately. Malik Abuda, he's also a senior. Cooper Frank, the brother of Harrison Frank, a 5'10 senior, and so they honored him and gave him a rose and whatever else they do. And then Cameron Haig, he's also a senior, and so they bring all these people out and honor them and introduce their parents. So it's a really nice thing that they do, and all the places do it now, and it's really a nice little ceremony before the game. And then they honor the senior from the visiting team. And for Moriarty, they only had one senior, and that's Caleb Griego. And so they introduced Caleb and his parents. So it's a pretty nice thing to do. We went up to Taos the other night. It was senior night up there, and normally it's, as like their PA announcer said, we're going to honor, as soon as the JV game is over, we're going to honor the senior night. So we're going to honor the senior basketball players and the senior cheerleaders and the senior dance team, and which is fine and not bad at all. So a little short ceremony. And then they asked all the parents to come out, or the seniors to come out. And then at that point they said, all the basketball parents come out, every one of you. And they proceeded to introduce everybody from the 8th grade, all the 8th graders and 9th graders, and all the way through the seniors. But they only did the cheerleader seniors, and they only did the dance team seniors. But one thing that was really nice was that they introduced and had everybody give a big hand for the custodial engineers, and so that was nice that they got got the people that they're kind of unsung heroes, as it turns out. So coming down, we're under 7 minutes to go before we'll start this thing out. And so joining me now is Dean Mortensen, and it'll be our pleasure to bring you this ball game tonight between the Hilltoppers and the Moriarty Pintos. And Dino's got a little history here on the district, at least on the district. We didn't bother to go through the whole season, but we thought we'd relate to you what has happened so far in district as far as Los Alamos and Moriarty are concerned.
So yeah, for the Moriarty Pintos, they've had a rough season. This shortened COVID season. Overall, they're 1-9, and they're 0-6 in district. The district ball games, their first game they lost to Pewaukee 50-60, and then they went to Espanola and got beat 69-17. That was a rough one. Then they hosted the Hilltoppers. Toppers beat them 66-45. And then they went to Taos and were defeated 68-31. And then went to Pewaukee and were defeated 62-33. And then they hosted Espanola and were beaten 45-28. So kind of a rough go this season for Moriarty. But here, last week of the season, and they'll play the Hilltoppers tonight. The Hilltoppers are 6-4 overall. They're 3-3 in district. And the Hilltoppers district season, they started off at Espanola and were defeated 59-38. That was just a poor showing by the Hilltoppers, and Hilltoppers were shorthanded had 3 players out for that game. Had a rough start for the district season and lost that ball game. Then they hosted Taos here at Griffith Gymnasium. They defeated Taos 61-59. That was a great ball game. Then they went to Moriarty, the team that will play tonight, and they defeated the Pintos 66-45. Then they hosted Pewaukee here, and they beat them 48-45, and that was another great game. And then Espanola came to town for the rematch, and Toppers went down 59-54, so lost that one, but a whole different ball game here at home than what it was in Espanola. So all 3 games here at home have been great games, and then tonight they play the Pintos, but their last district ball game was on Monday, and that was against Taos at Taos. And after beating them by 2 in that great ball game here at home, they went to Taos and got defeated handily. It was 80-54. And the thing about that game was that essentially makes it very tough for them to get to the state tournament. Espanola is going to win the district, and that's going to be an automatic bid for them. But the Hilltoppers prior to Monday were looking pretty good for a seed to the state tournament. But after Monday, I think that's going to be pretty tough.
Yeah, and the Hilltoppers, as Dino pointed out, the home games, we've had 3 really good district home games, and we had a good district game on the road against Moriarty. But the other 2 on the road, particularly against Espanola and then against Taos the other night, And the Hilltoppers, I don't know, it's almost like it's a different team. They come out against these other teams here at home, and plus other teams they played all season long. And we had played great offense, great defense. Everything goes fine. But then in those games against Espanola and Moriarty, we just kind of froze. And we didn't get the scoring out of our usual scorers. We have two players that are the leading scorers on the team, and that is Wesley Stanfield and Harrison Frank. And Wesley, in both of those games on the road, had a rough time. And Harrison, he did pretty well against those teams on the road, but against Espanola and against Taos, but nothing near the caliber of the games that he's been playing all season long. He's an outstanding athlete and great basketball player. So we're down now to about 1:40 to go before we'll get into the introductions. Let's see, tomorrow night, we have nothing. The girls are going to go to Moriarty. We're not going to travel with them tomorrow, but we are going to travel with Milwaukee on Friday night for the final game of the season for the boys, and they will play Moriarty. They will play Milwaukee at 7 o'clock on Friday night, and we will be there to bring you that ball game. And on Saturday afternoon, the Hilltopper girls will wrap up their season as they'll take on the Milwaukee Elkettes here at Griffith Gymnasium, and that ball game will be start at 1 o'clock, so it's a Saturday afternoon game. And those I like afternoon games. They're kind of fun. So anyway, there's the buzzer to bring the kids in. And in the last game against Moriarty, the Hilltoppers were led by Harrison Frank. He had 24 points, and he was followed by Wesley Stanfield with 14. And the two players, Los Alamos, have got in double figures for a total of 38 points. For the Pintos, they had two players get in double figures, and that was Herman Archibek, and he had 12, and Bruno Garcia had 11. Interestingly enough, for Herman Archibek, he had 5 points at the end of the third quarter, but he went to the free throw line 8 times in the fourth quarter and made 7 of them. So he had 5, added 7 free throws, and that gave him his 12 points. And Bruno Garcia had a good game all the way through as he picked up 11 points. And so the Hilltoppers, like I say, they were led by Harrison and by Wesley of 24 and 14. Elijah Ortiz had an excellent game up there, good three-point shooter, and he ended up with 8. And then they followed through. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players get into the scoring column in that ball game. And the Hilltoppers were up 32-23 at half. And then they just kind of opened it up and took off. They outscored Moriarty 17-9 in the third quarter, 17-13 in the fourth quarter. And the junior varsity game tonight, the Moriarty junior varsity is they're struggling. I'm not sure what's going on with the program up there, but the varsity has had a rough season so far, but they have played well. And the junior varsity, they've just been getting wiped out, and they got wiped out again tonight. So here's the national anthem, ladies and gentlemen. So they conclude the national anthem here, and now Maury Pongratz, the EPA Boys of Los Alamos, are ready to introduce the teams and the starters. And Dino has our starters for us.
Okay, for the Moriarty Pintos, starting for the Pintos, number 0 is Caden Dunn. He is a 6'1 junior. Number 10 is Herman Archibek. He is a 5'9 sophomore. Number 21 is Caleb Griego, a 5'10 senior. Their lone senior on the ball club. Number 24, Bruno Garcia, is a 6'1 junior. And number 31 is Cade Griego. The Pintos come out in their green visiting uniforms. They have white letters and numbers with black trim. They are coached by Marcus Ortiz. And as we mentioned, they're 1-9 overall and 0-6 in district. For Los Alamos, their starters are number 3, Cooper Frank. He is a 5'10 senior. Number 4, Wesley Stanfield, a 5'10 junior. Number 23 is Harrison Frank. He is a 6-foot sophomore. Number 30, Elijah Ortiz, a 6-foot junior. And number 33, Ryan Zeke, a 6'2 junior. Hilltoppers take the floor with their home white uniforms. They have green letters and numbers with yellow trim. They're coached by Benito Maestas. They have an overall record of 6-4, and they are 3-3 in district.
So we're ready to go here, and the Hilltoppers out on the floor. They, of course, will be on defense right away because with the new rule, the visiting team throws it in. We don't have a jump ball anymore. More and more of the old traditional things about sports are falling by the wayside. But anyway, the Pintos will inbound it to start things off, and Caden Dunn will bring it inside. And he's going to get it to Herman Archibek. And the ball over in the corner, and it's stolen away by Harrison Frank, and he gets it down the floor. Bounce pass over to Wesley Stanfield going in. The ball knocked out of bounds by Moriarty. Hilltoppers will inbound under their own basket. They'll give it to Cooper Frank, and Frank trying to find somebody to get it in. They bring it in the corner to Wesley Stanfield. 3-point shot. That's off. Rebound is going to be pulled down by Moriarty, and bringing it up the floor is Cade Griego. So they get it out on top now to Caden Dunn. Dunn will hand it over to Herman Archibek. Skip pass across over to the right wing. Can't do anything with it that time is Cade Griego, so he just flips it outside to Caleb Griego. Underneath it goes, and boy, well, I think somebody was supposed to cut down the lane, and they didn't, because as soon as he caught the ball, he just made a beautiful pass in the lane, except there wasn't anybody there. Wesley Stanfield goes in, has his shot blocked by Cade Griego. Boy, beautiful rejection, and now Harrison Frank, 3-point shot. That is off. Rebound is going to come down to Herman Archibek. Archibek will bring it across the timeline, get it over now to Caden Dunn. Dunn passes. Well, they're going to have a personal foul before they make the pass. And so, let's see, Dino, who picked that up?
That was Ryan Zeke.
Okay. So Ryan Zeke gets his first personal, first team foul, common foul. It'll be inbounded by the Pintos, and they bring it in to Herman Archibek. Archibek over on the right wing. Now they get it down low to Caden Dunn. He brings it all the way back out on top. Now they shift over to the left wing. Hilltoppers in a very, very aggressive matchup zone. And coming down the lane on the left side, and then Caden Dunn, he dishes it off over to the right. Skip pass across comes to Cable Griego. Hilltoppers, and the pass inside is going to be picked off by Ryan Zeke. He gets it up to Harrison Frank. Frank will hand it to Wesley Stanfield. Will put the ball on the floor. We have 6:10 to go here in this first period. No score in the ball game. Cooper Frank now will hand it over to Ryan Zeke. Comes to the left wing. Elijah Ortiz. Hilltoppers right now just working it around that 3-point line, trying to get somebody open. There's nothing inside. And right now the Moriarty on a man-to-man defense, and it's a pretty good defense, Dean.
Yeah, great defense by Moriarty. Tight man-to-man. The Hilltoppers, a lot of movement, but they really don't set screens, so they don't get open a lot. But yeah, good defense by the Pintos.
Yeah, and Dean is right. I mean, you don't see a whole lot of screens to get it free anybody up. Harrison Frank goes behind his back and tries to get a pass, tries to scoop a pass around his man, Caden Dunn, and it goes wide as he was trying to get it in the corner to Elijah Ortiz. Full court press now by Los Alamos, a 2-2-1 full court press. Going to bring it up to Caden Dunn. Dunn's going to rip it up the floor and get it right to Caleb Griego, and he's just going to take it to the hole and score.
Yeah, great play by the Pintos against that press. They got over the top, and then Caleb Griego, they're not making it easy. They got a Caleb, a Caden, a Caden out there. And
no, they're not. Harrison Frank with it. Get it in the corner. Elijah Ortiz. Ortiz puts the ball on the floor, bring it out on top to Cooper Frank. He'll go down the left lane and pulls back up, gets it out to Wesley Stanfield over in the corner. It goes to Elijah Ortiz. He'll screen, set a screen for Stanfield and let Stanfield put up the three.
Yeah, Wesley Stanfield from that right corner, three-pointer, puts it in, makes it 3-2 Hilltoppers, the first basket of the ball game.
So the Hilltoppers on the full court press, and they steal it away, and they get it to Harrison Frank. He gets it over to Cooper Frank. Frank's shot is blocked, but it comes right to Harrison. So then Harrison just puts it in, just sticks it in the basket. Makes it now a 5-2 ball game. So the Hilltoppers a quick 5 points. Across the timeline comes Caden Dunn. Coming down the baseline, and we're going to have a blocking foul go to Los Alamos. We have 4:18 remaining here in the first period. And a personal foul is going to go to Cooper Frank. That's his first. That's the second team foul on Los Alamos. And a common foul will be inbounded under the Moriarty basket. And inbound pass as they bring it inside to Bruno Garcia, knocked out of his hands. Loose ball comes to Wesley Stanfield. He'll bring it to Elijah Ortiz. Elijah fakes the three. He likes to shoot the three, and he's pretty good at it. He gets the ball back. He brings it in the corner. So the Hilltoppers really everything over on the right side. Now they finally work it over to the left. Pass inside to Elijah Ortiz is stolen away. Quickly down the floor come the Pintos. And the young man who stole the ball away is going to, he got it over to Caden Dunn, came right back to him, Caleb Griego. And he just took it down the lane and put up a little floater from about 6-8 feet out. And it makes it now 5-4. And a beautiful drive to the basket, Dino, by Harrison Frank.
Yeah, Harrison Frank, he just took it off that right elbow and blew by his defender, took it in for a layup.
So the Pintos trying to get it underneath. They get it to Caleb Griego again. This time his shot is short. Ball going out of bounds. Saved back in by the Pintos. Saved to Harrison Frank. Frank comes into Hilltopper territory. He's going to hand it over to his brother Cooper. Cooper will get it to Wesley. He's wide open. And a three-pointer for Wesley Stanfield.
Yeah, Wesley Stanfield from that left wing three-pointer and swished it. Nothing but net.
Yeah, beautiful shot. And so right now Wesley trying to, we're going to have a timeout called by Moriarty. So Marcus Ortiz wants a timeout. And I want to remind everybody we've got that slideshow going. And that's, what is Rocky's name?
Rocky Johnson.
Rocky Johnson. You know her, right?
Yeah. Yep.
That's Dino's boss at the lab. So anyway, that's Rocky again. So, but anyway, our Cracker Jack IT guy, Nate. And there you see heading down the lane is Joshua Montoya for the Pintos. But Nate, we had a request from someone to see if we could put up a roster so people could see when they see the number, they could see who it belongs to. And so Nate, this is version 1, I guess. What do you call it? I guess version 1 or slideshow roster .1 or whatever. So anyway, it's 10-4 right now, and we're still here in the first quarter. And the Hilltoppers leading by 6, and we have 2:53 remaining here in this first period. And after the timeout, Moriarty will inbound it at midcourt. So they get it to Caden Dunn. He brings it to the right side. to Caleb Griego. Griego down in the corner to Caden Dunn. Back out top to Caleb. He's going to shoot up to 3. This is going to be off and out of bounds. And he hears it from the crowd.
Yeah, shot an air ball in the student section. Let him know it.
Yeah, the student section unloaded on him. 10-4, 2.5 minutes to go here in the first period. Pass inside to Wesley Stanfield. He had a little trouble getting a hold of it, but we're going to have a reach-in foul go to one of the Pintos. It was a nice entry pass that time, by the way, by Cooper Frank. And a young man on the floor.
Cade Griego.
Okay, Cade Griego. We have Cade, Mike said, or Dino says. We have Cade Griego, Caleb, and Caden Dunn. I've done games where girls' games where half the girls on the visiting team were Natalie's.
Yeah.
So, anyway, at the free throw line, not sure why he's shooting 2. That foul certainly occurred on the floor, but the personal foul goes to Michael McGough. That's his first. That's the first team foul. Wesley Stanfield at the line, and gave him 2, and I don't understand that. He was not shooting. So Caden Dunn on the dribble, and he's going to try to get it inside in the lane. Cutting down in the lane that time was Michael McGough. His ball goes wide, and so it'll be Hilltoppers coming down in a fast break, and they lose it out of bounds.
Yeah, Hilltoppers came down. Harrison Frank, they had essentially a 3-on-2. Harrison Frank tried to get it over to Wesley Stanfield and threw it wide, and it went out of bounds. And here the Pintos come down, and they get it to Jeremy Padilla, and he shoots from just beyond the free throw line and swishes it, makes it 12-6 in favor of the Hilltoppers.
So Moriarty, Hilltopper on the other end, put up the ball. The shot is off. Rebound comes down to Caden Dunn. Dunn, as he gets it over right now to Jeremy Padilla, and Padilla has the ball stolen away by Wesley Stanfield. Stanfield gets it to Harrison Frank. Frank goes down. Nothing is called, an inadvertent trip. And so they get it to Sebi Woods. Sebi underneath to Nico Garcia, the freshman. And we're going to have a personal foul, and let's see who that's going to go against. Minute 18 remaining here in the first half. That personal foul is going to go to Herman Archibek. That's his first. That's the second team foul. And at the free throw line, the freshman Nico Garcia.
Hilltoppers doing a good job of cutting here since that last time out. They've come out and they're doing a lot more cutting to the basket. Before that, they were just basically doing a weave around the three-point line. All 5 players outside the three-point line and just moving, but no picks, no cuts. And here they are. They're getting some cuts and getting some baskets getting some shots off in the paint.
And Nico misses the second, and so down the floor come the Hilltoppers on the press. And stealing it away is Sebi Wood, and then they steal it back. I don't know how many times we've had that in this ball game. They take turns having turnovers. In the corner it comes, and then down the baseline goes to Michael McGough. And he just loses the ball out of bounds. As simple as that. He thinks it's his ball.
Yeah.
But they say no, went off your knee.
Well, he jumped out of bounds and threw it off of Cameron Haig out of bounds, but the referee must have determined that he was on the line when he jumped and threw the ball. So
yeah, what I didn't understand, the referee was patting his knee like he came off his knee.
Yeah, he definitely threw it off Cameron Haig. So, but the Moriarty certainly thought it was their ball.
Yeah, they certainly did. So Nico Garcia in the free throw circle. He's going to get it over. He gets it over now to Cameron Haig. Ball stolen away from Haig. And then a breakaway down the floor for Caden Dunn. And Caden Dunn lays it in for 2. It's a 12-8 ball game here with 20 seconds to go here in this third quarter. First quarter, yes. Malik Abuda has it in the corner with 10 seconds to go. He gets it to Stanfield. Westfield, he wanted to shoot the 3. He flips it over now to Sebi Wood. Sebi inside to Malik. Wide open, and Malik can't get the layup to drop. He was wide open. He put it up very softly, rolled around the rim, and fell out.
Yeah, perfect pass. Great pass by Sebi Wood. We're right with the 5 seconds, the clock winding down. Got it to Malik, and yeah, he was literally wide open and just bounced it off the back of the iron and just didn't go down for him.
Yeah, so the Hilltoppers lead by 4, 12-8, as Los Alamos came up with 4 field goals in that first quarter, and 2 of those were 3-pointers, and they were 2 for 4 from the free throw line. And for Moriarty, they did not shoot anything from the charity stripe, and they also had, well, let's see, I have them for 9 at the 8. So that shot, I must have been giving somebody. I gave somebody a 3, and it should have been a 2. So 4 field goals, no 3-pointers, and no free throws for 8 points. So the alternating possession should go to Los Alamos, I think. Yes. Hilltoppers have the alternating possession, and they will inbound it at midcourt. And Nico Garcia heads over there to take the ball from the official, and he's going to bring it in to Wesley Stanfield. Stanfield in the backcourt. He'll cross over into Hilltopper territory. 12-8 ball game at the start here of the second quarter. Nico Garcia hands it to Wesley. Wesley over to Sebi Wood. 3-point shot by Sebi. That's good.
Yeah, and he was fouled on the shot, and it wasn't. Yeah, and he made the basket, and he was fouled. And he was fouled by Jeremy Padilla of Moriarty. And what happened was Padilla, he didn't try to block the shot, but what he was doing was trying to box out Sebi Wood as he shot it. And then he boxed out too soon and came under Sebi Wood when he came down.
And Sebi Wood completes the old-fashioned 4-point play. That makes it now 16-8. And Sebi with 4 points all of a sudden here in this ball game. Hilltoppers only scored 16 so far, so he's got a quarter of them. Heading to the basket. Boy, nice move to the basket that time by Griego, but Caleb can get it to drop. Boy, that was a beautiful cut and drive to the basket. Just wouldn't go in for him. Comes now to Nico Garcia. He'll hand it over to Sebi Wood. Wood picks up his dribble. Hilltoppers right now, and now Cameron Haig goes down the lane. They come to him. He dishes it over to Malik Abuda. 3-point shot by Malik, and that is off. And going for the rebound. Let's see, Moriarty loses it.
Yeah, Nico Garcia got in for the rebound, and then Moriarty knocked it out of bounds out of his hand.
So the pass comes into Malik Abuda, and then heading over there, Caden Dunn. He just ran over there and grabbed it, and whoa.
He broke his ankles. Caden Dunn, he broke Sebi Wood's ankles on that one. He did a crossover, and then you heard the Moriarty players and crowd respond to that.
Yeah, Sebi went down. I mean, a fantastic fake, and Sebi just went for it full time and ended up getting all crossed up, and down he went. And boy, the Moriarty team, they loved it. 3-point shot from outside. This one taken by Cameron Haig. That is off. And it's right now, it's a 16-8 ball game. Out to Herman Archibek. Archibek will flip it back over to Jeremy Padilla. Padilla just to the left of the key. Now he's going to hand it back to Herman. And Archibek will bring it in the corner to Caden Dunn. They get the pass underneath to Jason Garcia. We're going to have somebody from Los Alamos for going over the back.
Maybe Cameron Haig.
So that's his first. That's the third team foul. And Moriarty will have the ball out of bounds under their own basket. Baseline right. And Caleb Griego will make the inbound pass. Gets it into Caden Dunn. Dunn will bring it out to Herman Archibek. Archibek on the dribble, backs out toward the half-court circle. Still on the dribble. Pass across, almost picked off by Wesley Stanfield, but fortunately the pass was going wide. And now it comes down to Jeremy Padilla. Padilla will bring it out on top. Over in the corner, Caleb Griego. Griego lobs it into Caden Dunn. Dunn starts to go in, has the ball stolen away by Nico Garcia, and Nico's going to take it all the way. Tried to do a Michael Jordan.
Yeah, Euro step.
He did. And just didn't have the leverage. So Moriarty brings it down on the other end, and a high arching shot. And
Jeremy Padilla.
Jeremy Padilla for 3. He now has 5 points in the ballgame.
And into the ballgame for the Hilltoppers for the first time is Mark Cleland, the 6'7" junior.
He's 6'10" now.
Yeah, 6'10" now.
And he gets the ball underneath, wide open, puts it off too hard off the glass. 16-11, Herman Archibek. Boy, pretty move. Came right down the lane, faked it over to the left wing, and drew everybody to him. They all went for the fake, and he just kept right on going and laid it in. Nice move by Herman Archibek for his first 2 points. But, boy, that was pretty, Dino.
Yeah, great move. And the Moriarty, here they are. They're down by 3 now, 16-13 with about a little over 4 minutes to go in the second quarter. But they're not a bad team. They're having a rough season record-wise, but they're not a bad team, and they're young. They only have the one senior, and they don't have a lot of height. Their tallest player is listed at 6'1", but they've got good skills and they have poise. They don't play like a losing team, but they could have a future being so young, and they do have talent.
Yeah, they really do, and
this is a rough district.
Yes, it is. This is a very rough district. It's one thing about this northern district up here, and everybody's basketball crazy, and so a lot of these teams around here, they'll come up with very, very, very good basketball programs. So Hilltopper taking a timeout as Pintos close it to 3 with 4:46 to go here in the first half. And Harrison Frank brings it down. Now he turns around and scoops it back to Wesley Stanfield, who's near the half-court circle. He comes to the right side to Cooper Frank. Frank picks up his dribble. Can't find anybody to get it to. Finally gets it over to Gavin Coy. And now the Hilltoppers I don't know who that pass was supposed to go to. But
yeah, Harrison Frank, he got bailed out on that one. They were working against that man-to-man, and Harrison Frank just forced it and just lofted it up. But Gavin Coy came down with it and scored it, and then the Pintos come down, throw it out of bounds, kind of the same thing. But Harrison, somebody picked it up for him here at Moriarty. There's nobody home, and it just goes out of bounds back to the Hilltoppers.
So they get the pass underneath to Cooper Frank. He brings it out on top to Wesley Stanfield. And Stanfield with his third three-pointer of the ball game. And so now the Hilltoppers, who are only up by 3, are now up by 8. And so we're going to have a timeout taken by Moriarty. And that's good. They're going to take a 30. They have 3 timeouts remaining. The Hilltoppers have 4 timeouts remaining. And right there, you see Cooper. That is Cooper Frank with the ball, I do believe. No? Can't see the number very well, do you know?
Yeah.
I don't know if you can make it out or not, but that's not Cooper. I think it's Nico, I think. Yes. Nico Garcia, the freshman.
And there's Rocky. Yeah. Or that's Sebby Wood and his mom.
Oh, okay. And right there you see Joshua Montoya of Moriarty, and guarding him right there is those numbers go by. Okay, here we go. Back to the ball game. 21-13. Moriarty brings it in. Hilltoppers right now with a trapping zone. And boy, everybody's up to the ball. And they put the shot goes up by Moriarty, and it's off. A rebound pulled down nicely by Jason Garcia. He goes back up, and he's fouled. He's going to go to the free throw line, and that personal foul is going to go to Harrison Frank.
And after that timeout, Moriarty comes out, and obviously, during that timeout, they were told to go to the basket because right there they went to the basket with intention.
Yeah, so at the free throw line, Jason Garcia, and he drops in the first. That's his first point of the ball game, and the second. So that makes it 21-15. The Hilltoppers up right now by 6. Their biggest lead has been 8, which was just moments ago. And we're going to have a, let's see, we had a, I think, substitution?
Yep.
Yeah, it was Gavin Coy coming into the ball game for Los Alamos. They get it to Wesley Stanfield in the corner. Up he goes now to Mark Cleland, and the 6'10 junior puts it up. Shot rolls around and comes off. Rebound, and a ball bouncing around under the basket, knocked out of bounds finally by Moriarty. So the Hilltoppers will inbound it. Cooper Frank does the honors over to Gavin Coy. Three-point shot by Gavin is off from the corner, and there's a ticky-tack for you. I mean, the 6'10 Mark Cleland went straight up in the air, and he just kind of reached over the top of one of the Pintos and trying to just grab the ball. There wasn't any contact of any kind.
Yeah, he went up over Caden Dunn, who's 6'1", and they called him for over the back.
Unbelievable. That is his first and the 15th foul on Los Alamos. On the dribble, Caden Dunn makes a nice move to the basket, and like Dino says, that's the strategy now for Moriarty. Every time they get it, whoever's got the ball, they're taking it to the hole.
Yeah, obviously that was the strategy after that timeout. So every possession since that timeout, that's obviously what they're doing. It's 21-15, 3 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Very, very low scoring ball game, and the Hilltoppers bring it across the timeline. Wesley Stanfield, top of the key, dribbles to the right wing, hands it to Harrison Frank. Frank will get it back to Wesley in the corner, and the Hilltoppers have to rotate it out on top to Cooper Frank. The left side to Harrison. Harrison's going to take it in, dishes it off at the last second. Beautiful assist that time from Harrison Frank to Gavin Coy.
Yeah, great play. Harrison Frank took it into the lane and got cut off, and then he just dished it over to Gavin Coy for the basket.
Yeah, he was in all kinds of traffic when that happened, and so let's see, we're now going to have a foul away from the ball, and that one's going to go to Cooper Frank. That's his second. That is the 16th foul on Los Alamos. 3 team fouls have been called on Moriarty with 2:24 remaining here in the first half. Hilltoppers up by 8, 23-15. That matches their biggest lead. So the inbound pass comes in, and they get it to Herman Archibek. Herman near the half-court circle. Hilltoppers, and he has it. Well, he's pocket picked by Harrison Frank. Boy, he didn't like that. So as Harrison's going down the floor, I mean, Herman was right with him step for step, and as Harrison started to go up, just a slight little forearm in the side, but nothing, not a cheap shot type thing.
Yeah, nothing dirty, but he wasn't going to let Harrison score after getting his pocket picked.
Yeah, you could see, boy, he was not a happy camper after he had that ball stolen. Harrison puts in the first. That's his 5th point in the ball game. And that personal foul, of course, went to Herman Archibek, his second. That's the 4th team foul. Harrison converts both of them to give him 6 points, and the Hilltoppers go up to a 9-point lead, and that is their biggest. Stolen away. Hilltoppers have everybody going down the floor. They stole it away, and they had a 3-on-0 fast break. So they got it up to Joshua Woodson and let him make the basket. So it was just a herd of white jerseys heading down the floor, and once again they do it again. And this time it's Harrison Frank.
Yeah, this is the most effective I've seen the Hilltopper press this season. It's a 1-2-2 press, and they're trapping when right at the half-court line, and that's 3 turnovers in a row committed by the Pintos against that Hilltopper press. But the execution of the press, I haven't seen it like this this season.
No, not like this. And like you say, then those last steals I mean, after the Hilltoppers stole it away, and it was nothing but white jersey heading down the floor. And that gave them the opportunity to just open this up to a 14-point lead, 29-15 over the Pintos. It had been a close game for a little while, but the Hilltoppers now are starting to blow it open maybe, and they now lead by 14, 29-15. And nothing going on tomorrow. We're here on the Daily Post, our YouTube channel anyway, and then but we'll be back on the air on Friday night. We'll be down in Pewaukee. Very, very important district ball game in Pewaukee. The Hilltoppers, if they have any chance to go to the state playoffs, I think they need to win out. And right now they looks like they're halfway there. As long as they keep up this pace. Full court press by Los Alamos once again. And boy, I'm surprised Ryan Zeke didn't get called. And they steal the inbound pass. In fact, Moriarty just threw it right to one of the toppers. And they get it to Harrison Frank. Over to Nico Garcia in the corner. Three-point shot. High, arching three-pointer. Comes down and nothing but net. So that makes it 32-15. And now we're going to have Ryan Zeke called for the personal. I'm surprised he didn't get called the last time. He was all over his man last time.
Yeah, Toppers are denying on that press. They're at a 2-2-1 now, and they're denying all the way. And that last time, Moriarty just got flustered and just threw the ball up, and then Hilltoppers picked it off, and that was their fourth possession in a row.
So Ryan Zeke picked up his second personal. That is the 7th team foul on Los Alamos. And at the free throw line is Herman Archibek. And he cans the first, and he'll shoot one more. Good free throw shooter. He was 7 for 8 in the fourth quarter up in Moriarty. From downtown, and that's Harrison Frank. Shot is off, but it was an air ball, but Nico Garcia gets the rebound. Now it comes back to Nico. He'll put the three-pointer up. This is off. Long rebound. Comes out now. It's a flip to Bruno Garcia. Garcia gets it over now to Joshua Montoya, and he has his pocket picked by Joshua Woodson. And Woodson down the floor and lays it in. That makes it now 34-17, a 17-point lead for Los Alamos. Caden Dunn with it. And I think we're going to have a personal foul go to Joshua Woodson. Yes, we are. That's his first. That's the 8th team foul. And so that's going to put Caden on the free throw line. And he will shoot 1 and 1. Let's see what Caden, did he shoot anything up there? Let's see, he did not play in Moriarty. So he was not on the roster. Well, he just wasn't there for that game for whatever reason. So a little battle for the rebound, a little volleyball, and then it ends up with Elijah Ortiz winning the battle.
Yeah, there's Sebby Wood goes in for the left-hand layup, and they called him for the charge, and that was taken by Jeremy Padilla of Moriarty, but that was sure looked like a block.
Yeah, and so anyway, that is the 9th team foul on Los Alamos, and they get it underneath. Nice pass this time from Herman Archibek into Bruno Garcia. Garcia puts it in for his first 2 points of the ball game, and now it's a 15-point ball game. Hilltoppers' biggest lead has been 17. Sebby Wood will bring it over to Elijah Ortiz out on top to Cameron Haig. Haig hands it to Josh Woodson. Woodson is going to get it out to Sebby Wood. Wood is going to try to go down the lane and put it up. Makes a nice move. He just didn't put it up high enough off the glass. So Moriarty comes down with it, and that's the buzzer. It's good. Whoa, no, give it to him.
No. Yeah.
Beautiful shot from the top of the key as he looked up at the clock, and it was like a 1/10 of a second, and he let it go, and right after the buzzer.
Yeah, it was Caleb Griego for Moriarty. Yeah, he put it up on top of the key, but just after the buzzer, switched it, but it was too late. So 34-19, halftime score.
Yeah, so we're going to take a little break, and then we'll be back. Hilltoppers up by 15. Well, we are back here at Griffith Gymnasium where the Hilltoppers lead the Moriarty Pinto 34-19. I'm going to take this opportunity to say a little shout out and say hi to Max and Wilma listening down in White Rock. And a shout out to Ken up in Littleton, Colorado. And to Larry Mortensen also tuning into the ball game. And so also I'd like to have a shout out to Gail and also a shout out to the Yolanda down in Florida who tunes in to next and she grew up in New Mexico and now taking it easy in Florida. So anyway, but we have about a minute and 20 to go here before we get into the second half. So let's take a quick look at the scoring for Moriarty. They had 6 players getting the scoring column. Nobody really ripping it up. Jeremy Padilla had 1 3-pointer and a 2-pointer for 5 points, and he is the leading scorer. And he was followed by Caleb Griego with 4 and Herman Archibek with 4. For the Hilltoppers, they had 6 players get in the scoring column. They were led by Wesley Stanfield with 11. He has 3 3-pointers and a couple of free throws. Harrison Frank had 8, and Harrison has yet to come up with a 3-pointer, which is unusual. And so then following them, they see Josh Woodson had 4, Sebi Wood had 4, and then Nico Garcia put in a 3-pointer. And then Gavin Coy had 4 for Los Alamos. So 6 players scoring for Los Alamos. Moriarty had 7 field goals. One of those was a 3-pointer. And that 3-pointer by Jeremy Padilla, they were 4 of 4 from the free throw line. And the Hilltoppers, they had 12 field goals, but 5 of those were 3-pointers, 3 of them coming from Wesley Stanfield, 1 coming from Nico Garcia, and the other one coming from Sebi Wood. Hilltoppers had 9 team fouls called on them in the first half, and Moriarty only had 4 called on them in the first half. So, and let's see, to start the second half, it's Moriarty, and they will inbound it. So they bring it over on the right wing. They try to bounce it underneath to Caden Dunn. He's double-teamed, gets out of the double team, gets it over to Caleb Griego, and Griego with a 3-pointer. So Caleb starts things off for Moriarty with a nice 3-pointer. That gives him 7 points in the ballgame. Cuts the lead to 12, 34-22. And that lead, biggest lead for Los Alamos in this ballgame has been 17.
And here on offense for the Hilltoppers, they pass it down to Cooper Frank. Great feed down and right on the left side, and he hits that left-handed layup. Makes it 36-22.
So underneath, they get nice pass underneath to Bruno Garcia, and the 6'1" junior goes up, and he just powers it in. So nice pass, a great entry pass to him underneath. You'll see it posted up on the left side of the lane. They ring it now to Josh Ortiz. He's out at the point right now. Elijah Ortiz, I mean. So now it comes to Harrison Frank, over to Elijah. Elijah's going to take it in. Whoa, we don't see a whole lot of that. And his shot just barely misses and rolls around and comes off. Rebound comes down to the Pintos. The Pintos get it over to Herman Archibek in the corner. It will go to Jeremy Padilla, back on top to Archibek. Over now to the left side to Caleb Griego, and Archibek gets it down to Jeremy Padilla. So they're just playing catch, and the Hilltoppers in that matchup zone, and it's driving the Moriarty crazy. Caleb Griego gets it inside to Caden Dunn, and then Dunn over in the corner wide open as Jeremy Padilla puts up the 3-point shot. It's off. Fighting for the rebound and doing a great job of grabbing it that time was Caden Dunn, but his putback is off, and the Hilltoppers come up with the rebound. And boy, a great give and go by Los Alamos, but unfortunately it didn't work. But Ryan Zeke finishes things for Los Alamos.
Yeah, great play by the Hilltoppers. That was classic give and go.
And so the Hilltoppers press, they steal it away. Nope. And that's the thing that Dean and I always get a kick out of, is that now when there's a charge, I mean, the officials, I think they probably must practice in front of the mirror, kind of like, what's his name in what was it? Can't remember the movie. Anyway, so the ball is stolen away by Los Alamos, and they get it to Ryan Zeke, and Zeke lays it in for 2. as he got a nice pass that time from Harrison Frank coming down the floor with it and lobbing it underneath to Caden Dunn. This one is stolen away by Cooper Frank, but he steps on the baseline. So the Hilltoppers come up with 6 points so far in this quarter. And we're going to have a 30-second timeout taken. Let's see who this is going to go to. Moriarty. That's his second 30. But Gene and I always kind of laugh about the way the charges go. They used to come down, and if there was a charge, the official would just put his hand behind his head. So that was indicative of the offensive foul or the charge. But now they they call it, and then they step forward, boy, and then they take a big long step and then throw that right hand fist. I mean, just jam that right fist and arm out. I mean, it's a spectacular move by the officials. And so sometimes we laugh that if it's a close call, that the official wants to get the charge so he can do his performance.
Yeah, the blocking call with the hands on the hips isn't nearly as impressive as the charge signal.
No, not at all. So Moriarty will inbound it after the timeout, and they get to Caleb Griego. Griego out to Herman Archibek. Archibek on the right wing. And underneath, going to the basket. Nice. As Jeremy Padilla got it to Caden Dunn. And then Dunn got it coming down the baseline to Bruno Garcia. Boy, that's a pretty move.
Yeah, great play by Moriarty.
Makes it now 40-26. And Elijah Ortiz over to Cooper Frank. Frank on the dribble, out on top, still on the dribble. Now he's going to take it all the way. And, boy, he went by Caden Dunn. Dunn thought he was going to put the shot up. And so he took another step. He was practically behind the basket, and then he does put it in. But if he'd have gone up when you normally go up, he'd have been stuffed big time. But he just waited, took an extra step, and then he was able to I don't know, somehow get it in the basket. I thought he was too far under the basket when he shot. So now down on the other end, Moriarty loses the ball out of bounds, and the Hilltoppers will inbound it. They bring it into Harrison Frank. 16-point lead for Los Alamos right now, 42-26. And Cooper Frank out near the half-court circle on the dribble once again. Hilltoppers, a lot of movement underneath for the Hilltoppers right now, and they are setting some screens. They get it to Harrison Frank. His three-point shot rims around, comes off. Rebound comes down to Jeremy Padilla. He'll get it to Herman Archibek. Archibek goes around Harrison Frank, gets it to Caden Dunn over on the right wing. They'll bring it back out on top. Rotate it to the left wing, Caleb Griego. So right now they're just working around that three-point line at this point. And the Hilltopper zone is just keeping them out there at the moment. What they want to do, they're trying to get it underneath to Bruno Garcia. He's trying to post up, but he can't. Pass comes inside to Caden Dunn. And then Bruno coming down the baseline. That's the same play they tried before from the right side, this time from the left side, and the Hilltoppers pick it off.
Yeah, 2-3 zone just collapsed right in the middle and got that ball.
So Ryan Zeke with it. He's going to try to get it to Harrison Frank. Stolen away by Caden Dunn. They got a 2-on-1. And, well, it was a 2-on-1. And then Jeremy Padilla waited until two toppers caught up with him. So it was a 1-on-3. But he still was able to put it in somehow. And he now has 7 points. It makes it 42-28. So substitutions for Los Alamos right now. We have Sebi Wood and Cameron Haig and Malik Abuda coming into the ball game. They're going to replace Ryan Zeke and Elijah Ortiz. And I'm not sure who. Oh, and Cooper Frank is the other young man that went down. So the pass comes inside to Cameron Haig. Has the ball stolen away from him. Long pass comes down the floor to Caleb Griego. Underneath is Bruno Garcia. And Garcia just lays it in. So
yeah.
Garcia.
Yeah, good play there by the Pintos. And a quick quarter. We're already down to 2 minutes and 45 seconds remaining.
Yeah, we've had only one foul called in this quarter, and that against Los Alamos. Three-point shot, Wesley Stanfield. That's off. Rebound comes down to Caden Dunn. Dunn up the floor. 2:25 to go here in this third quarter. Hilltoppers up 42-30. They were up at about 17 at one point. Underneath to Bruno again. And Bruno Garcia, boy, he had that one. Good shot. Just rolled around the rim and fell out. Down to a 12-point lead, but Hilltoppers bring it across. Wesley Stanfield now at the point for Los Alamos. He'll come to the left side to Sebi Wood. Wood trying to penetrate down to the left wing. Is cut off. Gets it to Malik Abuda. Abuda pass over on the right wing to Wesley Stanfield. And Sebi Wood cutting to the basket. Goes up with a shot. He's partially blocked by Jeremy Padilla. As it goes up, he comes back. Ball comes right back down to him. And there's a case, Dino, where Caleb Grieger was out of bounds. And then he came back in for the pass. And so the Hilltoppers are called for the foul, but he never established position before the pass. So he was out on the back of the baseline. He was completely out of bounds. And then as Moriarty came down, he suddenly just started to jump in bounds, but he had not established position. But he caught the ball and he got fouled. And that foul went to Sebi Wood.
Yeah. And that was good defense by Sebi. He blocked that shot, but they called him for contact with the body.
And so Caleb at the free throw line has 7 points in the ball game. His first trip to the line, misses the first and cans the second. He now has 8 points, and it's a minute 40 to go here in this third quarter. And 42-31. The 17-point lead for Los Alamos now has been cut down to 11. Wesley Stanfield with it. Makes a nice move. Boy, puts it in the lane. Makes a little fake to the left, and it comes around to the right. A little short jump shot from about 10 feet out. And Stanfield picks up his 13th point. So the Herman Archibek, they get it to Caden Dunn. Dunn is going to come down the left side of the lane, tries to dish it off underneath to Bruno. So it's been underneath the basket, Dino. It's been the Caden Dunn, Bruno Garcia show.
Yeah, they've been getting it in there, but a lot of forcing. It's obviously their intent is to get it in there, but they've been forcing it. But also the Toppers have been collapsing. So good defense by the Toppers, and then here the Toppers throw it out of bounds, so it goes to the Pintos.
And so Herman Archibek will bring it down, gets it to Caleb Griego. Jeremy Padilla will rotate it to Herman in the corner, and there's now cutting to the basket once again. And Bruno Garcia, as he comes down the lane on the right side, the pass had gone to Caden Dunn over on the corner on the right side, and then Bruno right down the left side of the right side of the lane. And beautiful entry pass and a nice score that time by Bruno Garcia. And Bruno, Dino, has 8 points in this quarter already, and he's now looking at 10 points in the ball game.
Yeah, and here the Toppers came down, and Cameron Haig drove into the middle, and he tried to dish it out to Sebi Wood, but threw it wide, and it went out of bounds back to the Pintos.
5 seconds to go in this quarter. There's a shot at the buzzer. That's off by Jeremy Padilla. And so a quick quarter, as Dino says, as the Hilltoppers, let's see, coming up with 10 points in that quarter as they lead 44-33. They came up with 10 points. And Moriarty, though, with they came up with 11. Does that make sense? No, it doesn't. So 10. Oh wait, no. I'm sorry. They came up with 14. That makes more sense. Okay. And the Hilltoppers had 5 field goals, no 3-pointers, and no trips to the line for Los Alamos in the third quarter. And Moriarty had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. 6 field goals, 1 3-pointer, and they were 1 for 2 from the free throw line for their 14 points.
The Hilltoppers will inbound the basketball to begin the fourth period.
And right there, you see That's Ryan Aldaz going to the basket for Los Alamos. So the Hilltoppers will inbound it to start this fourth quarter, leading by 11, 44-33. Hilltoppers defeated Moriarty in Moriarty by a score of 66-45. Looked like they were on their way to do that, but a good quarter that time by Moriarty. Makes it an 11-point ball game. Comes over now to Gavin Coy. Coy, they lob it inside, trying to get it inside to Mark Cleland. He's 6'10 junior for Los Alamos. The ball is knocked away. Down the floor in a hurry. Come the Pintos quickly. Jeremy Padilla puts up a three-pointer. He just rushed it and forced it. It's an air ball. Hilltoppers in a hurry come down. Josh Woodson, three-point shot. That is off. Rebound pulled down by Padilla. Jeremy will flip it over now to Herman Archibek. Archibek at the point will get it to Caden Dunn. Dunn just to the right of the key. Now they go down to the corner. So they're working once again against that Hilltopper zone. Out on top, Caleb Griego. He's wide open, but decides not to take the shot. And so trying the same thing in reverse. This time they get it to Bruno Garcia, and then Caden Dunn cuts down the baseline. But the pass was deflected by Los Alamos. Out on top it comes, and Herman Archibek, as he goes around Wesley Stanfield, he actually tripped over Wesley's leg. Wesley didn't stick his leg out. So one of those ones where it's just totally inadvertent. So Wesley picks up the personal. That is his first, or that is his second. Correct that. And that is the third team foul on Los Alamos. Pass inside, trying to get it to Bruno Garcia. That's knocked away by
Joshua Woodson.
By Mark Cleland, and Cleland just gets it down the floor to Joshua Woodson. And Woodson lays it in for two.
That was Nico Garcia. Woodson got it over to Nico Garcia for the layup.
Okay. So Nico, oh yeah, sorry about that. Too many things to keep track of. So in the corner, and then cutting down the lane, and the pass is deflected as they're trying to get it to West Stanfield's stolen away by Caden Dunn. Dunn coming down, tries as he gets to the top of the key, throws a hard bounce pass underneath, and that is knocked out of bounds by Los Alamos. And Harrison Frank will come back into the ball game. He'll replace Joshua Woodson. Hilltoppers up by 13, 46-33 with 6:14 remaining here in the third quarter.
Fourth quarter.
Fourth quarter again.
Third quarter was that fast.
Been a rough night.
Yeah, and Moriarty, Caleb Griego, he takes the feed and drives in for a layup. Makes it 46-35, so back to 11-point lead.
Yes, and Harrison Frank has the ball in the corner, trying to get it underneath. Mark Cleland doesn't put any elevation on the pass whatsoever, so that was easily picked off. Three-point shot by Jeremy Padilla. He travels before the shot.
Yeah, and Los Alamos, they need to watch their complacency here. That Moriarty, they're down by 11. Hilltoppers lead 46-35, but 5 minutes and 41 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter. So the Hilltoppers need to keep their foot on the pedal and not get complacent and let Moriarty back into this game.
Well, they've done that more than once, where they build up a nice lead against a team, or they break out with a big lead, and then they just suddenly relax, and it's like, okay, we got this game in hand. And we've had a number of games. That's what happened against when we were playing Taos here. We had a pretty good lead on Taos, and then we just kind of dropped back, and we weren't moving on offense, weren't moving on defense, and we let Taos just come right back into the ball game. And we had another game. And we've had 2 or 3 games that way where the Hilltoppers just get all of a sudden just get very complacent. So they'll bring it up after the timeout. And they've still not called a foul on Moriarty in this ball game. And Harrison Frank dribbles into the lane, and then a little bounce pass over to Mark Cleland. Cleland can't get a hold of it.
Yeah, and that's the third possession in a row for the Hilltoppers offense where they've lost it.
Ramon Archibald, he travels. Well, he got the ball to Jeremy Padilla, and he traveled.
Yeah, and that was one where it just looked awkward, so they called traveling. I don't think it actually was traveling, but he kind of lost his footing, so it looked awkward, and a lot of times they'll call it because of that.
Pass comes inside to Cleveland as a nice bounce pass, entry pass, beautiful from Harrison Frank. Cleveland was being double teamed. He was able to grab the ball away from the double team, goes up for the shot, misses the shot, but the personal foul is going to go to Caleb Griego. That's only his first and the first team foul of this half, and Cleveland at the free throw line. And he misses the free throw and gets a big round of applause from the Moriarty kids on the bench.
Yeah, they're stomping their feet on the bleachers. I think they're taking credit for that miss and what he misses both.
Yes, he did. So, and he has not scored in this ball game yet. Pass trying to come out to the wing is knocked into the backcourt by Harrison Frank. 3-point shot. Jeremy Padilla. And rebound comes down to Mark Cleveland. And but coming in, Bruno Garcia comes in from behind and knocks it out of his hands, out of bounds. 4:47 remains here in this. It's the fourth quarter, Dino. 11-point ball game. And Nico Garcia on the dribble for the Hilltoppers. Still on the dribble, and now he's going to dish it over to Harrison Frank underneath to this time now to Mark Cleveland, and Cleveland finally, he does put this one in.
Yeah, and that's twice they're getting it into Cleveland. They're bounce passing it to him, and good hands by Cleveland on both of those.
Yes. Yeah, that you're exactly right. I mean, those weren't easy passes to catch, especially when he was double teamed. And then on the other end, a little 15-foot jumper from the left baseline by Caden Dunn. That's only 4 points for Caden. And now it's back to it's an 11-point ball game, 48-37. Harrison Frank on the left wing. Underneath it comes to Gavin Coy, and the Hilltoppers, I don't know what they're doing underneath. There's nothing but a crowd under there. And
well, Mark Cleveland is in the middle, and every pass they're throwing to him is at his knees instead of just passing it up to the basket, letting him get it. He's 6'10", and he's being guarded by 6'1", Caden Dunn.
Yeah, and they're not lobbing anything into him. And when they do make a direct pass without a bounce pass, they don't put any elevation on it. In the corner it goes to Nico Garcia, and from way, way out, and I mean way out, beyond the top of the key. And that was Harrison Frank, and that's his first three-pointer of the ball game. He now has 11 points, and we're going to have a 30-second timeout taken by Benito, I believe. Yes, he is taking a 30. Okay. So I have Los Alamos. Let's see. One timeout remains for Moriarty, and the Hilltoppers have 2 timeouts remaining. 14-point ball game right now. It's 51-37. But obviously, Dino, they're trying, the idea or the plan or whatever is, they want to get it into Mark Cleveland. They want to use him as much as they can, give him as much experience underneath there as he can. And Mark is 6'10". I guess he played like in middle school or so, and wherever he was from. And then he kind of bowed out of basketball for his freshman and sophomore year. And now he's come here to Los Alamos, and he decided to come out for basketball. So he's 6'10", but he hasn't had a whole lot of basketball experience.
Yeah, and you can see he's got all kinds of potential. He obviously has the height, but he's also got good skills.
Yes, he does. And now the Hilltoppers, Moriarty trying to throw the ball in. They were called for the 5-second violation. They couldn't get it in time. So the Hilltoppers inbound it, and now they promptly throw it out of bounds. So Moriarty will throw it in under their own basket, under the Hilltopper basket again.
And the Hilltoppers on that denying press.
And they make the steal.
Called him for a carry, Wesley Stanfield. Called him for palming.
They did.
He stole the ball. Wesley Stanfield stole the ball on that press, and then he was taking it to the basket, and they called him for palming.
I can't believe that. Yeah, he made a beautiful steal, picked his pocket, and then he was heading to the basket, and I think he just had the ball, and he was going to make a little move. It looked like what he wanted to do was to pass it across the lane over to Harrison Frank. But you don't see the palming called very much. And some referees will call it, well, you do it at all, and other referees, guys walk down the floor like they're scooping sugar out of the bin, and
Yep.
there's no call. So it just depends on the official. And so the timeout taken by Moriarty, and so they have none left. They're done. And we have, we don't know what the time is because they're using the clock for the timeout run. But right now it's a 14-point ball game for Los Alamos, up by 14, 51-37. And we have 3 minutes and 2 seconds remaining here in this contest in this fourth quarter in regulation, unless Moriarty can really pour it on in the final 3 minutes. But Moriarty actually playing a lot better than they really did in Moriarty. Jeremy Padilla brings it to Caleb Griego. Griego underneath to Caden Dunn. Dunn coming down the baseline on the right side. And, well, let's see. How in the world he got away without a travel. He stopped at the, he came down the baseline on the left side, stopped at the left side of the lane, picked up his dribble, took a step, and Mark Cleveland was right there, so he took a couple more.
And spun.
And then spun. And so they call they end up calling Wesley Stanfield for the foul. That's his third, and that is the 14th foul on Los Alamos. And at the free throw line is Caden Dunn.
So 2:42 to go in the game. I want to see if, and with Moriarty at the free throw line, Caden Dunn shooting his second shot here. See if they press on defense, down by 13.
Yeah, that would be interesting. And Caden puts in both of them. Makes it now 51-38, or 51-39. So the Hilltoppers quickly bring it up the floor. Over on the left wing, Wesley Stanfield. Boy, another shot, an NBA shot by Harrison. And now the ball going out of bounds. Cooper Frank trying to save it back in. Steps on the baseline. 2:28 to go. 12-point lead. And the Hilltoppers inbound it. It comes inside to Caden Dunn. Full court press by Los Alamos. Broken easily right now by the Pintos. They get it in the corner. 3-point shot is up and off. Long rebound is going to come down to Caleb Griego. Griego out to Caden Dunn. Top of the key. Caden's going to take it straight down Broadway. Goes up against Mark Cleveland. And ball comes too hard off the glass. Ball rolling around. Finally grabbed by Wesley Stanfield. Shot from the corner by Harrison Frank. Rolls around, drops off the front of the rim, right to Mark Cleveland. And all he had to do is just put it right back in. And so...
Yeah, I don't understand that. The Pintos bring it in. Hilltoppers pressing, and then Harrison Frank just wraps up Caden Dunn. And that's his fifth. I guess he did it on... That's his fifth. No, that's his second personal, sorry. But I guess he did that to get the subs in.
Yeah, we had three. Yeah, he may have, because they had three subs waiting at the bench. And so...
Just a minute and 40 seconds to go, so he must have wanted to get those subs in.
Yeah, that's cool, to do something like that and foul when you know you have the game won, and then do something like that to get the subs in the ball game. Cooper Frank gets the ball on the right wing, and he just, as he catches it, he just makes a little turn, heads right down the right, straight to the basket, and lays it in for two. So Moriarty, the ball's just flying everywhere, and it finally ends up in the hands of Herman Archibek, and he takes it to the basket and puts up a crazy shot, and the thing goes in, and he's fouled. But that ball got deflected by about two different players and then came right to Herman, so he just took it to the hole, and then he's fouled. This time by Sebi Wood. That's Sebi's third personal. And then Herman misses the three-point attempt. Under a minute to go. Comes to Sebi Wood. Wood pass over to Cameron Haig, knocked out of bounds by Herman Archibek. So the Hilltoppers are cleaning their bench. I'm surprised that Moriarty hasn't done the same. Caden Dunn, though, will check out now. Cameron Haig will inbound it for Los Alamos. Brings it into Malik Abuda. Knocked away from Abuda. Loose ball picked up by Caleb Griego. Griego's going to take it straight to the hole. Has his pocket picked by Cooper Frank. Frank bringing it up for Los Alamos and trying to get it back is Caleb Griego. He didn't appreciate Cooper. Underneath it goes now to Sebi Wood, and he goes up against Jason Garcia, and he just powers it up.
Yeah, he got tough on that one and put it in the basket. Down to 20 seconds left.
Shot by Moriarty is off, and comes up now to Gavin Coy underneath. Nice pass by Gavin underneath, and getting it to Cameron Haig, and Haig puts it in for two. Makes it 59-41, so the Hilltoppers now up by 18, and a three-point shot by Caleb Griego at the buzzer. And so that will end it, and the Hilltoppers taking this ball game 59-41 as the Hilltoppers came up with 15 in that quarter, and Moriarty coming up with 8. So the Hilltoppers win this 59-41. They win it by 18 over the Pintos. So their record now will go to 7-4 overall and 4-3 in district. So right now, what's the business at hand for the Hilltoppers is they have to go to Pewaukee and they have to win that ball game. No two ways about it. So that'll be an interesting one, and we will be there. So Benito, I think, wants to go talk to his team. So anyway.
Yeah, he waved to us. And
yes, he did.
This is the last home game, senior night. And I think he wants to get in there with his team tonight.
Yes, and well, anyway, so that's it. The final score is 59-41 as the Hilltoppers led after one quarter 12-8, led at the half 22-11, 34-19, led after three 44-33, and end up winning the ball game by 18, 59-41. So that's going to wrap us up here, Dino. Any final comments from you?
No, last home game, and the Toppers, they've got a good program going, and a crazy season with all this COVID and just a strange time right now. But they go to Pewaukee on Friday, and they're going to have to win that if they want any possible chance of going to state. There is no district tournament this year, so they just go straight to the state tournament. Starts next week, and so they've got to win that game on Friday. They beat Pewaukee here at home by 3, 48-45 here. So, like I say, they're going to have to win that game on Friday if they stand any chance whatsoever of going to state on a bid.
Yeah, because I think the situation is that Saturday is the final game of the season for everybody, and boys and girls. And then Sunday, I'm pretty sure what's happening. I think the NMAA is going to seed on Sunday and put the seeding out sometime Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, and then the first game will be played at the gym of the higher seed, and then after that, the Class 4A, for instance, will move to the pit.
Well, it's venues in Albuquerque. It's not necessarily the pit for the first couple games.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what they were going to do. They've been switching things around for for volleyball. That they did the championship games in the pit. I was under the impression that they were going to go to the pit after the first round, but Well, I don't know. This COVID thing got everything fouled up, so we don't know. All we've been doing all season long is wait and see.
Yeah, that's the thing about this year is you don't know for sure. But the last thing I saw was venues in Albuquerque, and then with possibly the championship games in the pit. But like you say, this year everything is so fluid that it could change by this time next week.
Well, I saw something here, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago about it, but I haven't been able to find anything out since. So apparently, they had published something before, but now they're not publishing anything about what's going on with the tournament. So
I think that's why, is because it's so fluid that they don't want to put information out there and then have to change it and then have things confusing for anybody.
So that's going to do it for us, and I hope you enjoyed the slideshow. It would be nice to hear from somebody if you want to send the word to the Daily Post or anything, or any comments you want to make about the ball games. You can send your comments to the Daily Post, and if you have somebody listening somewhere around the country, and like a grandfather or uncle or whatever, and we'd like to acknowledge them. So if you send their name and everything, then a little bit of the information, like where they're from, to the Daily Post, then we'll get them on the air. And I hope you enjoyed the new slideshow situation we have, where we got Nate Limbach to put the rosters up, and that was very nice. So I'm beginning to think when it comes to computers, Nate can do anything.
Yeah, he does a great job, and he's great to work with and great guy.
Yes, he really is. And like when we went to Towson, we had a lot of problems with the equipment up there. So what we finally ended up doing was that Nate set up a Zoom meeting between me and him. And I got on my phone, got in his Zoom meeting, and then I started talking to, as I talked and broadcast over the phone to Nate's Zoom meeting, and then he passed that over to the YouTube Daily Post. To the Daily Post YouTube. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm still amazed. So anyway, the final score 59-41, and tomorrow we have off, and we'll be back on the air on Friday night. And so Benito's going to come and talk to us. All right, awesome. As soon as he's taking a look at the book right now. But we have tomorrow off, and then we'll be back on Friday night and then Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, Coach. Thank you.
Hello, Benito.
Hey, how's it going, June?
Good. So congratulations on the win.
Thank you. Thank you.
Nice win, 18-point win, which it finally turned out. They closed it up a little bit in the third quarter, but you guys just roared back, and the press tonight was pretty impressive.
Yeah, you know what? We've been working in the press since I first came to Los Alamos, but we've run it good some nights, other nights not so good. But tonight was one of those nights that we ran it really well. I think that's what got us to pull away from Moriarty. But it was a great win. It was good to get back in that winning track. We had lost 2 in a row, but winning this game was huge for us and for the kids.
Yeah, and it was kind of a must-win for you guys, because if we had lost this one, we'd have been kind of in trouble.
Right.
But this now sets it up for Friday night to go to Milwaukee, and hope the kids should be really, really pumped up and ready for that game. That's an important game for you guys.
Yes, it's very important. The kids cannot come up flat. We got to come out aggressive from the start. We got to play together. We got to run our offense. We got to be patient. We got to do the little things all 32 minutes of the game. And if we do those things, I'm hoping we will get that W. Yes,
and you had a good team effort here tonight, and at the end there in the fourth quarter, especially, guys were trying to get it into Mark.
Right.
And he did end up with 4 points, but I don't know, every time, but Mark's inside there, and as soon as that ball starts to come in, I mean, it's just, they collapse on him like crazy, and some of the passes, they've been trying to bounce passes and stuff, but
Right.
Sometimes with his height and everything, they lob that thing over everybody.
Yeah, that's one thing that we got to work on. We have worked on it this season, but you know what? It's a process. We're getting there. We will get there, but we're going to continue working with Mark, working with our guards to make better passes, and so we can make Mark successful down underneath.
Well, Wesley bounced back tonight after he had a rough time out there at Taos.
Yes.
But he bounced back tonight with 13 points, had 3 3-pointers in the first half. And then Harrison, of course, played his usual normal game. He's very basketball smart, and we were wondering, like, when he picked up that last foul, he do that on purpose to get the subs in.
Yes. Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah. He's gonna have to get the subs in, but you know what? We need both Harrison, Wesley, since they're in our starting group, to come out aggressive offensively. They need to look for their shots, but they also need to look to get the others involved. But yes, Wesley did come out being aggressive offensively, and it was huge. It helped us tonight. And again, Harrison. He played tough, and he's got to get some rest for tonight, get back to practice tomorrow, and get ready for Milwaukee on Friday.
Yeah, and Harrison, he plays so smooth all the time.
Right.
He never loses his head.
No.
Not a hot head at all.
No.
No matter what happens, he just keeps his cool.
Yeah.
And Dino was the one who noticed that last foul. Dino said, no, he did that on purpose.
Right.
And I thought that's a really cool thing to do.
Yeah, he wanted to get his teammates in. He knew it was senior night, and that's what we did. Harrison's the leader out there. I think the kids look up to him, and he's a great teammate.
Well, for a sophomore, he's a fantastic team leader.
Yes.
A couple of years, like next year and the year before, if we ever get this crazy basketball back to normal,
I know.
Harrison is going to have a tremendous career.
Oh yes. Right now, you know what? We're just grateful that we're able to have a basketball season through this COVID. It's been a struggle with people trying to get into gyms to watch your kids playing with masks, having to go with pods early on in the year. But you know what? We're here. We're playing. We have one game left in the district, so you know what? I'm just grateful that we were able to have a season.
Oh yes, and of course, we were all sitting there around, I guess sometime in February or something, thinking like, well, and in fact they were even talking at that point about canceling everything at that point. So, and they even did cancel wrestling, but the NMA got wrestling back.
Right.
So it's been crazy year.
Yes.
Well, congratulations on the win, and Friday night, the guys need a big game.
Yes, we do.
In Milwaukee, we'll be down there.
Sounds good. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for following us to everywhere we play. We really appreciate it, especially now during COVID where people can't come and watch the Hilltoppers play. But thank you, Gene. And thank you, Salmos County. Come out and root for us on Friday night. We'll need your support if you can make it.
Yeah, if you can make it down to Milwaukee, that would be nice.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
well,
Benito.
You guys have a good evening.
Yeah, you too. All right. Okay, Benito. So that's it. So that sets the stage for the final game on Friday night, and we'll be there. So have a great tomorrow, and you can make it even better Thursday. All you got to do is put a little love in your heart. Don't forget to hug that penguin, but the most important thing you can always do is just be excellent to each other. And so night, sweetie pie, my Gail, I love you and I miss you. And I miss you a lot, sweetie pie. Bye-bye, everybody.